Hey everyone, welcome to class. Today's flow is for when you absolutely cannot deal with any more election nonsense. And this is half joking, half serious, because I think election season is one of those times where everybody gets on your nerves. Even if you were enthusiastic about one particular cause or candidate, now that we're getting into like the final stretch, it becomes ridiculous. Everybody has an opinion and it becomes overwhelming and a little bit anxiety inducing. So this class is to kind of bring you back down to a balanced, neutral playing field so that you can go out into the world and feel normal again. Now remember, we do have actually very specific classes for stress relief that range from 30 minutes to 1 full hour in the Bad Yogi store. So if this just doesn't cut it, you can always visit the Bad Yogi store and get your fix on a larger level. Now, for today's class, you will need either 2 foam yoga blocks or a couple pillows that you have laying around. Either one will work. So whenever you're ready, we can go ahead and get started. So go ahead and start with your blocks or your bolster or pillows, whatever you're using. And you're gonna set them up like this. So just make sure that it's long enough so that your upper back and your head is gonna be able to rest on it. So I'm leaving a little bit of space between my blocks because that's what's comfortable to me and doesn't bother me. Then scooting forward, and obviously depending on the length of the thing that you're using, you might sit your butt up closer to it or further away. So in my case with the 2 blocks, I'm about 7 inches or so away from them. So from here, I'm gonna lie back, and it might take a little adjustment. And I'm gonna move my second block up. And just so you know, if you have 2 blocks or if you have 2 things that you're using, the space between them shouldn't bother you. So make sure that you can space them appropriately so that you're not distracted by it or it's not making any difference to how it feels. Once you're set up, you can bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees drop open, the arms can come out to the side, and let the eyes close. And we're just taking a few moments to drop in. So we want our attention and our focus to turn inward. Just mentally stepping away from the rest of the day. Separating ourselves from the feeling of being annoyed, those little things getting under your skin. Just allowing ourselves to reset. And take a couple more breaths here, in and out through the nose. Then go ahead and bring your knees together. You can plant the feet down. Take your hands on the backs of the thighs and slowly pull yourself up. You're gonna move whatever you were using off to the side for now. You shouldn't need it. You might need one towards the end, so just keep it nearby within reach. You're gonna lie back down. Bring the knees in towards the chest, shift your weight side to side. We're gonna come into a twist on either side. So stacking the knees over the hips to 90 degrees. Slide your hips to the right and drop your knees to the left. And just let the knees come together. Try to keep the right shoulder down. So think of turning the chest in the opposite direction of the legs. So try to square the chest off so it faces straight up, even though the hips are heavy towards the left side. So getting a little bit of a twist through the spine, through the center of the body. You can keep the eyes closed. If you want more intensity in your twist, you can look down at the knees and push your right hip more towards the left so that the knees are stacked right on top of each other. And keep your right shoulder back. So don't compromise the positioning of the upper body if you do that. But that's one option if you need a bit more. Inhale, take the knees back to the center. We're going to switch sides. So sliding the hips to the left, drop the knees over to the right. So the hips are in line with the shoulders. The chest is open, facing the sky. Knees are together. Remember, if you need that extra intensity, just slide the left hip more forward so the knees are completely stacked and the chest stays open. And continue to breathe. You can let the eyes close. Just keeping your attention and awareness on the breath and on how the body feels. And on your next breath in, take the knees back to the center. Scoot the hips back to the middle of your mat. Plant your feet down so they're just in front of the hips. You might be able to reach the heels. Make sure they're pulled in relatively close to you. Toes face forward, knees are hip width apart. And on your next breath in, slowly start to lift the lower back off the mat. So we're going to come into a low, low bridge. Really low. So really push through the heels. Make sure the knees are centered right over the toes. You're opening the chest, maybe tucking the shoulder blades underneath you. The neck is relaxed and neutral. Draw the lower belly down slightly. And now lift up on the tippy toes and roll the spine down 1 inch at a time. So the tailbone comes down last. And then drop the heels. Let's do that 2 more times. So as you inhale, slowly lift the hips, then the back, then the middle back, and then stop right where you are. Tuck the shoulders underneath you. The chin should not be jammed into the neck. You should have a really neutral, long spine from the base of the skull all the way down through the tailbone. Dig into the heels. And then switch it up. Come up to the tippy toes. 1 inch at a time, lower back down. Tailbone touches down last, and then take the heels down. Last one. Rolling it out. Inhale, lift the hips. Middle back, tuck the shoulders underneath you. Big inhale. Settle in as you exhale. And then lift up to the tippy toes. Inch at a time, roll it down. Tailbone last, heels come flat. Pull the knees in towards the chest. And inhale, go ahead and sit up. We're going to come into a, a seated bound angle, but you're going to come to like a diamond shape. So instead of pulling the feet all the way in, keep them relatively in front of you so that you can sit up tall. 2 options. You can stay right where you are right here. If you want a little more, you can start to fold forward. If you can fold forward, but you can't relax there, that's where you can take one of your pillows or whatever you used, bring it in front of you up to whatever level you need. So maybe you need both things that you used. The back can be rounded here. It doesn't have to be long and straight. We're trying to get to a place where we can hold with really minimal effort. So whatever that looks like to you. Just relaxing the shoulders, letting the hips drop open. And with each breath out, letting go of any leftover anxiety or stress from the day. And your next breath in, lift the chest up. Find a comfortable seat right at the top of your mat. You can cross the legs if you like. Let the shoulders drop back. And on your next breath in, reach the arms up overhead. Press the hands together and exhale them right down to the heart center. Let the eyes blink open. Namaste. So there you have it. I really hope that you enjoyed that one. And of course, I hope it was helpful. Now make sure you're signed up for the Bad Yogi Club. Recruit a friend to join you. And I'll see you guys right back here next week.